Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. This will be the first story time on the channel, and I wanted to start out with a banger. I got a lot of stories from school, a lot of interesting stories and a lot of funny shit I've done before. So I thought I would talk about the time I brought my PS5 to middle school, and it ended up getting me kicked out the rest of the year. So I don't remember what day it was or anything because it was a couple years ago now. But I remember I, I was I've been a pretty troubled kid this whole schooling process, and a week before I brought a plant to school, and it ended up with me suspended. It's a different story for a different time. But I I figured I was just done with school and I just wanted out. So I had this great idea. I just got a PS5 recently. Like I just recently got it. So why not bring a PS5 into school and play some Call of Duty with some buddies in class? And so that's what I did. Before I used to ride my bike to school every day. So that added another level of struggle to the whole thing. I got my PS5 and I took one of my small monitors with me. I put it in this bigger box and I put it in a trash bag. And so, without anyone knowing, I had to sit the trash bag like on my lap and I had to like ride my bike. It's probably like a 9-minute bike ride, 10 minutes. I had to ride my bike with the trash bag like on my knees, balancing it the whole way. And it started raining when I was on like halfway to school. It started raining on me. So the trash bag and my whole clothes were just soaked, and I was dead set on bringing this thing to school. So I did. I got to school. A couple of my buddies at the bike ramps where we would park our bikes and whatnot, like to lock them up and everything. Were asking about the big trash bag because it was just a gigantic trash bag. I was just carrying. It was so heavy because I had my I had the PS5, which is already so fucking big and heavy, and I had my tiny monitor. I'll try to find a picture of this monitor, but it was a pretty tiny monitor. It was really old. And I got into school. I went to like my homeroom class, got through my homeroom class. No one questioned the giant fucking trash bag. And I ended up getting to my second period class, which was my math lab. And this is where I decided, let's do it now or don't do it at all. So all my buddies were asking me about it, and I just said fuck it. So I started unpacking my stuff from my trash bag. Everyone's looking at me all weird. So I set up the monitor. That's the middle TV. I'll try to find a picture of this. I might still have a picture of me setting this all up, but I set it all up on the middle table, and I was about to connect it. I connected it, and I turned the PS5 on, And my math teacher finally says something about it. She was a lady. She was an older lady. Let's just call her Mrs. Struple for now. It's not her real name. But she comes up to me and asks what I'm doing. And I tell her, I'm about to drop a nuke in math class. You want to turn? And she looks at me all weird and it's like, you can't do that in here. I won't call this. I won't call the admins on you, but you can't do that in here. So I proceed to pack everything up again, and I walk throughout the halls, and I found this little tiny table by like an outlet right by the stairs, and I start setting everything up. I'm in the hallway, and I get everything booted up. I get connected the fucking PS5 to the school Wi-Fi, and I start playing fucking COD in the hall. And the assistant, one of the assistant principals, see, we had two assistant principals and then one principal. The really mean one, we'll call her the Grinch. We'll just call her the Grinch because I swear if you looked at this lady, you'd tell somebody you just met the Grinch. You just met Jim Carrey, and you're super excited, but they're a real dick. But she comes up to me. She's all pissed off, like she always is. She always had it out for me, you know. She was always targeting me and finding ways to get me in trouble. So she tells me to pack everything up. I tell her, hold on. I get a kill on fucking COD while she's standing in front of me. And I start packing everything up. I shut everything down. And I'm starting to pack it up. And she says to pack it up. And I'm complying and everything. And she starts trying to like grab my stuff and pack it up for me. And I just like I start grabbing it from her because like you're not gonna start taking my stuff. Like learn your place, lady. This is not yours. Very expensive electronics. And she says, "Don't touch me, or I'll call like I'll get you for assaulting me." And she like calls the office on her little radio thing, and she says to the office, he's becoming aggressive. He's just, he's trying to like grab a hold of me, and I'm just sitting there laughing at her because I literally just grabbed my controller back from her, and I packed the rest of it up, and we start walking to the we start walking to the office, and I'm just walking the halls with this big ass PS5 box in my trash bag, going to the fucking office, and they try to take it from me when I get to the office, and I just like refuse. I'm not letting them take my PS5 away. So I'm like putting it behind me and shit. So they would have to like grab me to get it. And they end up calling my mom. And she comes in, she grabs the PS5, and she's like so pissed. She's so angry. And we end up going home. And I ended up connected, and I was like perfectly fine. I didn't get into trouble until like a day later, and I'm just playing my fucking PS5 in my room the rest of the day. But I did later find out because we had a meeting the next day. We had to come in, and they didn't quite expel me, but they basically they put me on online school till the end of the school year. So I was like, we had like a month and a half of school left before the year was out, and this was my 8th grade year. So they gave somebody the job of like meeting, like Zoom calling me once every week or whatever. Let's just call her, I don't know, Mrs. Zamboni. Let's just give her a really odd name. She's a real short lady. And I am not taking this serious at all. I don't do any of my work, and I'm just sitting at home, basically. My summer, my bad, it's fucking stummer, what does that mean? But I end up just, my summer started early, basically. So she would meet with me on Zoom, and it got to the point where I just like started messing with her. I remember this one time, I think it was like we had like 3 weeks left of school. No, we had like 2 weeks left of school. This was her second to last like Zoom meeting with me. And she asked if I got my work done. And and my response was, hold on a minute. And I started screen sharing me playing GTA 5, and I go to the strip club and I get a lap dance while she's on Zoom, and I'm fucking screen sharing the whole thing. So she ends up just laughing at me, and I end up like burning all of the strippers in game. And at this point she's just kind of like dying laughing. And she says, I think this will be our last Zoom meeting. Have a good summer. And she ends the Zoom meeting. And I just paused the game for a minute and I started dying. Because, like, I can't believe this lady just started dying laughing that I was burning strippers in GTA 5 on Zoom. And, yeah, basically, I spent the rest of the year, so the month and a half we had left, on online. I didn't do any of the work. And, yeah, I mean, that's the story how I brought my PS5 to school and basically got me kicked out. Moral of the story, maybe don't be dumb. Maybe bringing a PS5 to school is not the best of best of ideas you could have. Well, hopefully you guys liked it. It's a pretty funny story to think back on. Um, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good time. Goodbye.